All right, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Johnny Nailz with.
Mike the Crippler Cresta.
That's how we going, guys. Welcome to Five Moves of Doom first podcast, very first. So first off, we're gonna talking about the Royal Rumble.
What a mess.
As I wrote on our Facebook page, if you guys follow us at facebook.com/5 Moves of Doom, the number 5 Moves of Doom, the crowd really turned around, officially turned around once Rey Mysterio was number 30.
That was incredible. I don't even know how I feel about that. Rey Mysterio getting booed.
He is a face. He is what the little kids want, but the little kids wanted one man only at that Royal Rumble, and that's what he does. And horribly, he was left out of the Royal Rumble, and why? Lord will know. Apparently, Vince McMahon and Triple H don't get a hard on when they see Daniel Bryan. They don't like money.
He's too small.
Too small. He'll put them all in a pretzel.
True. Chris Benoit wasn't that big either.
Match of the night. Yeah, Chris Benoit was the man. Match of the night, like I said and as Crippler said, was Daniel Bryan versus Bray Wyatt. Once again, excellent match.
That was an amazing match.
First thing I said was, why, if Big Show was hurt, why, if they're going to go that route, why not give that match a little bit more time? Great match of the night.
Yeah. Well, my take on the whole Daniel Bryan thing was, everybody made a big deal about Bray Wyatt saying he was hyped. He wasn't good enough to put on a show or be in the ring with Bryan. And I think everybody's saying, oh, he pulled this match out of a hat, or this is one of those rare occurrences. But I've seen him in NXT. I've seen him when he came up as Husky Harris. The guy hasn't had horrible matches, but lately, as the Bray Wyatt persona, he's been great.
To whoever's sitting out there complaining, guess who's facing Superman at WrestleMania?
Yeah, that's true. Bray Wyatt.
Bray Wyatt is. Bray Wyatt's the man. Crowd reaction. Yeah. The crowd overtook that show.
How amazing was it? Here's WWE, John Cena, Batista's returning. One of the greatest Royal Rumbles of all time, which is supposed to be billed as
they always call all pay-per-views, by the way.
I will say this: it was definitely the most star-studded Royal Rumble I've seen in a long time.
Why? Because we had Kevin Nash come out?
No, there was legit names there. There was everybody that came out almost the entire time. There was only one name that was not like a marquee name: El Torito. That was it.
Because the Great Khali was a marquee name.
He is.
The Great Khali?
He was heavyweight champion at one point. Remember that?
Yeah, that's because Vince McMahon gets hard-ons for big men.
Yeah. But, it's amazing to me. Batista comes out at number 28, I believe. Yeah, and that was the same number he won a couple of years before, I think 2005. And he won again, and, man, he got booed. He got booed out the building.
See, my take on Batista winning is, you had guys in the back, Dolph Ziggler, Daniel Bryan, CM Punk,
Cody Rhodes,
John Cena. Now, I'm not a John Cena fan, but there's so many people in the back who can easily just have won the Royal Rumble. You want, what McMahon forgets, what Triple H forgets, is that this is a wrestling company. It's sports entertainment. But this is
professional wrestling.
This is a wrestling company. We want wrestling. We don't want this whole, because he's in a movie, he's going to win the match. No, I don't want that. He doesn't want that. Millions of fans don't want that. The Rock came last year, beat CM Punk, got carried through a match. And if any mark out there sits there and says, no, The Rock did great in his matches, he was winded after 2 minutes. 2 minutes, guys. Yeah. 2 minutes.
And twice in a lifetime was a horrible match. I was there live. I know.
Sorry, part-timers. We have great part-timers, a.k.a. Jericho, a.k.a. RVD, who come back, they put talent over. Who put Fandango over at Mania? Wait, just to go back with part-timers. Great match. One of the matches of the year. RVD versus Chris Jericho at the Barclays Center on Raw.
Don't forget, Taker's a part-timer. In fact, he only wrestles once a year.
He's a year, but
part-timer.
But he earned the respect. He's earned it. He's been in this business over 20 years.
His last 5 matches have been solid.
And he deserves it.
Yeah, both Punk, Both Triple H matches were pretty good. One was better than the other. The first one was
Yes.
much better than the second one. And both Shawn Michaels matches were pretty good. And, the first one was amazing.
Yeah, it was. And just to sit there and show you, Shawn Michaels was only 6 feet tall. Bret Hart was only 6 feet tall. Greatest match of all time at WrestleMania, Iron Man match. So just be on the lookout for that.
And if you guys out there want to say, oh, Ricky Steamboat, Macho Man Randy Savage, WrestleMania 2, I believe, right?
3.
WrestleMania 3.
Pontiac Silverdome.
WrestleMania 3, those guys aren't over 6 feet either. Ricky Steamboat's like 5'11", and Macho Man's like 6'1". So
No reason why. I don't know what's the affiliation with wanting 6'3", 6'4".
I said it today actually because I was watching Thy Kingdom Come, the Triple H DVD, and I think Batista got this push because he put Triple H in the same category as Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player of all time. Greatest.
Doesn't belong there. The Michael Jordan of wrestling is called Rick the Nature Boy Flair, who, by the way, only 6 feet tall.
Very true. So now, I'm guessing after this whole Rumble fiasco, WWE was in panic mode. They didn't know what to do. Their biggest athletes, their biggest surprise, the man they were putting the whole company behind for WrestleMania, just got booed, and he pulled off one of the most heel moves I've ever seen in my entire life by getting in a crowd member's face, mocking the yes chant.
And when he gets in this guy's face, he sits there and tells him, "I will snap you in half, fat boy."
That's a ruthless aggression era. That is a ruthless
He is
aggression.
lucky. He is lucky that mainstream America has caught on to the fact that CM Punk has quit the company, quote unquote.
Yeah, we'll discuss that a little later too. But I mean, for the most part, how do you feel about Batista doing that as a face, as a good guy? He returned as a good guy.
As a good guy, as we have said on our Facebook page, like any crowds are getting smarter. This isn't the kayfabe world anymore. Wrestlers aren't maintaining their whole "this is who I am" outside of the company and keeping it in shambles inside.
Even Undertaker, the man
Undertaker has broken kayfabe
a couple times.
What I gotta say is that if we want to cheer for you, we'll cheer for you.
And if we want to
You
boo
can be
you,
the biggest heel in the world. CM Punk, during his warm up for WrestleMania against The Undertaker, what happened? He grabbed the ashes from the urn and poured it on himself. You know what that crowd was doing during all this time? They were cheering.
Yeah.
We cheered for what we want. We paid our good money to go to these shows.
Next night on Raw, we made a big statement when Daniel Bryan came out. You know, I was proud of that little town.
You know, so
Cleveland,
people gotta remember,
Cleveland got nothing going for it. It's not a wrestling town. It's got no basketball team. It's got no football team.
no baseball teams.
LeBron James left Cleveland, and he's from Cleveland.
Kyrie Irving wants to leave. He's from Cleveland, so
And
correction.
And
Akron.
Dolph Ziggler is your biggest name to come out of Cleveland.
Because the jizz isn't that good.
Exactly.
But you guys, company needs to remember and realize, and this is just not WWE, not TNA, not Ring of Honor, Dragon Gate, NJPW, all these companies. Remember, the fans are the ones who pay for you guys to be able to put on these productions.
Yeah.
WCW at the end of it started giving away tickets. Why? Because nobody was showing up.
Yeah.
It was even
right
documented when the WWE did the whole invasion with DX when they went to the Norfolk Scope in Virginia. And, how you guys getting in? Oh, they gave us these tickets for free. WWE, if you guys, TNA, if you guys, Ring of Honor, Dragon Gate, if you guys don't realize the crowd is going to control everything you guys do, especially since Vince McMahon went up to that grand jury and said, we are sports entertainment. We'll control what we want to see. So if you're trying to push John Cena to be the superstar of it, I'm sorry, we're going to boo him.
Just like we do.
Just like he does.
And we've thrown his T-shirt back in the ring more times than I think anybody ever.
Okay. If you guys don't push Daniel Bryan, if you guys don't push CM Punk, why? Because they're 6 feet tall.
This is one of the things I was thinking about recently. Everybody's been talking about, the whole CM Punk thing. Is it a work? Is it real? This is what I say. In all honesty, if CM Punk left, he left. If it's a work, I'm gonna mark out anyway. But with the whole the way he's playing into the whole Daniel Bryan thing, now that he has to face Triple H at Mania and they're revamping the whole storyline, I believe this. I'm not going to tell people at WrestleMania to walk out or not show up. I think that would be absolutely crazy because you probably spent $200-300 on those tickets, maybe more, depending on where you're sitting.
It depends where you got them from.
Yeah.
StubHub's gonna rip you off.
But I will say this: I think people should turn their backs on the main event and walk out on the main event, live
or
on pay-per-view.
Or just do what we always do, because you know what, I pay hard money. I'm not just gonna walk out of a show.
Well, the thing is,
cheer for who we want.
But the thing is, WWE obviously doesn't care about that. As long whether you're making a boo like John Cena's, he's a face and he gets booed all the time. It's still a reaction.
Wait, correction. There is no such thing as heels or faces anymore.
Yeah, well, I mean, come on. That's because John Cena's getting booed and he's a face, and Batista's getting booed and he's a face, and
because
Rey Mysterio is a face getting booed.
John Cena's the only face I've ever seen only person, correction, to ever get booed in their hometown.
That is true. So there's going to be some very interesting backlash coming forward, but I would recommend people maybe turning their back on the main event or being absolutely dead quiet because they want to go for your reaction. Whether you're booing Orton, whether you're cheering this match sucks or this is awful or anything, even if you're chanting yes, they're going to say, oh yeah, you're cheering loudly for this match. You're just using his chant.
Michael Cole, they're cheering. This is awful, not awesome.
Yes.
Awful.
That is true.
Vintage Cole, always fucking shit up.
So moving forward with the whole CM Punk walkout, there's a lot of backlash from this, and a lot of people feel like this could be real. What is your take on it? Do you think it's real?
As I mentioned before, real or not, it did the company big justice.
That's true.
As a fan, if it's a work, you know what? In today's era where, we can go on Bleacher Report, Lords of Pain, Raja, WrestleZone, Reddit, we go on Facebook, we have wrestling pages who follow, Brian Alvarez on Twitter, we have, what's the guy that rates the matches?
Oh, Dave Meltzer?
Dave Meltzer going on.
That guy's awesome. I love that guy.
We can find out what's going on. And in today's day and age, this is one thing. We're like, yo, is it a work? Is it not a work? So kudos to the company if it is a work. And kudos to CM Punk if it isn't. You deserve it's better than what they've given you.
Yeah, especially as of late.
You deserve, and this is a fan saying it. This is a wrestling fan. I've been watching wrestling since I was a kid. I'm 23 years old today, and I've been watching it since I was like 1. I've seen this happen time and time again. As Stone Cold Steve Austin said on Arsenio Hall, he did it before, and it may be about the money, may not be about the money, but good.
Well, that's a lot of the report that's out there is that now they're trying to make Punk look like this over zealous person. He's an asshole for walking out, and he's this and he's that because he's standing up for what he believes in. Whether it's because the people that deserve a push aren't getting a push, the Dolph Zigglers, the Cody Rhodes, the D Bryans, or himself. And people like part-timers are getting the push.
Yeah.
Whether it's because of that or because he's not being compensated as, the number 2 face in the company because John Cena will always be number 1. Or he's not being given the creative, control to become a heel again at his own, want.
Whatever it is.
It's his prerogative. I mean, he has a right. Look, I grew up in an age where Alex Rodriguez requested $300 million from the New York Yankees and got it. 10-year, $300 million. The guy was well over his prime, and
he's getting the end of his prime.
Yeah.
But, that's another topic, another discussion. But what I gotta say regarding that, it's just basically, there's a lot of people bashing CM Punk online. There's a lot of people, a lot of these marks, and what we are.
The baby story. Yeah.
We are part of the IWC.
Yeah.
You go online, you make a comment, you read anything, you're part of the IWC. Just remember that. So you sit there, you go ahead and bash the IWC. You're bashing yourself. That's one. Number 2, he's a man. He's human. He's not a robot who just goes out and is programmed to do all these things. He's hurt.
He's wrestling hurt. He's been wrestling hurt.
Anybody who's ever actually followed wrestling knows that getting slammed into the ring isn't just a trampoline, as people have told me. Wrestling rings are trampolines.
It's a trampoline. That's right.
Wrestling is fake. No, it is. Yes, it's fake. It's scripted, but it doesn't mean you can't get hurt.
Scripted doesn't mean that they're not really wrestling.
Doesn't mean that for example, when Jeff Hardy jumped off the top of a ladder crashing through a table doesn't mean he wasn't going to hurt his back. Look at Edge. Edge had to retire all these crazy stunts he did earlier in his career.
Yeah.
You guys really, because the funniest thing ever is I've seen comments and I've seen people talk about how, oh, he's being a bitch. He quit on the company. But
He's a baby. He took his ball and went home.
But these are the same people who 2 weeks ago were cheering him and wishing he won the Rumble at first. Why? Because one, he may not be getting paid enough. If you go out every single day, you can't even see your family, you can't even visit your home, and you're not getting paid enough, you're not going to sit there and complain about it. And maybe complaining didn't really help. So you know what? Take your ball and go home.
I wish I could.
CM Punk made enough money. CM Punk is a smart man, and my kudos to him if he left on his own terms. Yes, he's retiring soon, as he said.
Yeah.
Maybe he retires sooner than later. We don't want another, unfortunately, Ric Flair situation. We don't want a Hulk Hogan situation where he's 60 plus and we're sitting here debating whether or not they're going to be participating in a match at WrestleMania.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, Punk will retire young, and it'll be sad, and it'll be tough to say goodbye. But we got past Stone Cold, we got past The Rock, we got past Mick Foley.
Well, a lot of people haven't gotten past The Rock. A lot of people, because he came back and
he's never truly had in a retirement match.
Put on good shows.
Yeah.
He's put on good matches. He got carried to. Thank you very much, because he didn't do much.
He also, remember, The Rock has never actually officially had a retirement match either, where Shawn Michaels got retired by Taker. And Shawn Michaels was my favorite wrestler of all time.
Sorry. Another thing I have to say regarding, and there's a lot of people who don't realize, look at clips of The Rock back in 2001. Look at those clips, and look at clips of him when he last wrestled. The Rock is not. He's gonna get hurt if he ever comes back at that same size. He's too big. He's not as athletic as he was. His movements, the way he moved before, it's not the same.
Yeah.
Me being an actual fan,
he was big. The Rock was big when he was The Rock. I mean, when he was the People's Champion, he was 6'4".
He is
6'2",
but he wasn't as big muscle wise.
Oh no,
not today.
Now
he's a bulk, and we don't want to see that.
He's no longer The Rock. He's the boulder.
He's just
But what do you feel about Punk leaving, having more effect in the mainstream than, say, Batista's win over the Rumble?
I think the company caught lightning in a bottle with that one, because if they don't, if it is, again, going back to it being a work or not, if this is a work, one thing that could have easily sit there and pushed is the fact that for this to actually have came out now, is a simple fact that you have Batista, who is supposed to be your headliner for WrestleMania, sitting there taunting the crowd, sitting there doing obscene gestures. The last time we've seen obscene gestures like that was Stone Cold Steve Austin. And the last time he was on WWE TV, he wasn't making these obscene gestures.
He wasn't. Even towards the end, he was ruthless aggression. He stopped doing the middle fingers and he just started doing the closed fist.
You started doing closed fist. I'm sorry. You want to taunt the crowd? Go right ahead. CM Punk has done it countless times. Cena's done it countless times. Orton has done it countless times.
Yeah.
But do realize though that they got bashed for it, and they had no other things to come out to sit there and say, "Hey, what's going on?" When CM Punk hit that fan in the stands, what was the biggest thing that happened? TMZ.
Anyway, guys. So from now on, just below, right underneath this little video, you'll see a link to all our blogs. You'll see a link to our Facebook page. You'll see a link to our Twitter account, our Facebook. Hit us up. Let us know what you think. Follow us, like us. Help us.
Share us. Help us out. We'll help you out.
Of course. Yeah. And we always want to hear what you guys say. So if you guys want to write us a message, let us know. Our emails will be there. Our blogs will be there. You can always comment. We'll take the best ones and we'll answer them live.
Questions. If you guys got questions, go ahead and shoot them.
Yep.
5 moves of doom.